And as Sabu has mentioned, one of the 8 Bersih demands is for an end for corruption. In fact, in Malaysia, we should be no need to seek the assistance of Mr. William Bolton to try to pry open the secrets of Scorpene from foreign lands, because we should be able to fight anti-corruption in the country without having to seek foreign assistance. We should have an anti-corruption agency which should be so professional, independent and efficient that will be already on the job to find out what exactly has happened to the 540 million ringgit commission for Perimeka, MACC, Suruhanjaya Penjagaraswa. But unfortunately, we don't have independent professional MACC where we depend on Mr. Bolton and international conventions to try to price open secrecies about the submarine deal. Today we learn more about our MACC. Today is the occasion when the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Leow published its report. And I'm sure you have some idea about the report. Finding suicide driven by aggressive, continuous questioning by MACC officers. Aggressive, continuous questioning by MACC officers. So it's forced suicide. Suicide forced by MACC officers. Is that suicide or is that homicide? Is that suicide or is that homicide? All of you believe in homicide. I think the whole country believes it is homicide. But will anybody be held to responsibility? In fact, I haven't seen the report yet because it was only released in KL today. But from the snippets of information that we got, it is quite incriminating. They talk about aggressive and investigators who have no respect for the laws, who question and grill Leow. And if you read the Malaysian Kini or Malaysian Insider, you read a report that they believe, the Royal Commission of Inquiry believe, that it was the 4th interrogation between 3:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. on that fateful day on the 16th of July 2009, which broke Leow between 3:30 and 7 a.m. When all along, if you read in the press, you remember, they claim that by 3:30 they have already released Leow. Correct? By 3:30 p.m. they have already released Leow. Leow somehow, strangely, Leow didn't want to go home. Although he's supposed to get engaged with his fiancée, stayed behind. And about 5:30, an officer going to the toilet, encountered him, he asked for water. After that, nobody had sight of him. But according to the RCI report, there was a 4th interrogation between 3:30 and 7 a.m., which finally broke it because there were the 3 investigators. One was very aggressive, another was regarded as the bully, and it was reported by the Royal Commission Inquiry, the bully, and he was he committed suicide under false circumstances. I don't know whether it is in the report or not. And in any event, the Royal Commission Inquiry said that MACC people were prone to tell lies, at least the select MACC, and they were telling lies. And we know in the testimony that they concocted stories in their testimony to cover up what happened. So we have MACC officers who are liars, who committed the crime of perjury in the Royal Commission inquiry, but I don't see any recommendation for the whole set of these MACC officers to be suspended, to be charged in court, and a total cleanup of the MACC so that they can deal with real corruption, like the Scorpene submarine corruption, or mega corruption in the country. But no. So they are very fierce, ferocious with regard to minor cases of corruption, or in this case, as we know, the case of CJ.MY. Did the Royal Commission inquiry really go to the roots of why the MACC was so determined to try to find out or to manufacture evidence against, well, the EXCO member for which CJ.MY was a special assistant? That was because there was a directive, a political directive to the MACC to use the MACC to destroy Pakatan Rakyat. And that was why the MACC officers felt that they had immunity to do what they like. And that's the whole character of MACC, not to deal with genuine cases of corruption like Scorpene, like Sarawak, Sabah, mega cases of corruption. Why Malaysia's corruption perception index and the TI annual ranking keep falling? I still remember in 1995, the first year that the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index was announced, the reaction of our Prime Minister at that time, Dr. Mahathir, he was very angry. He felt that this was an expression of conspiracy by the West, because Transparency International was based in Berlin. A conspiracy by the West in order to damage the reputation of Malaysia, for instance, developing countries. At that time, Malaysia was ranked number 23. He said, how can? Impossible. Malaysia should have a better ranking. When he stepped down in 2003, Malaysia has gone down to number 37, I think, 37. And remember in the last few months before he stepped down what he said. He said Malaysia must aim to become the top 10 countries in the Corruption Perception Index of Transparency International. He accepted the validity, the credibility of the TICPI. But today, what is the Malaysia's ranking in TICPI? 56. 56, 23, 37, 56. And I think that is why we are here today, in order to fight against corruption. And I would like to say that the birthday of 709 was not just about a clean electoral system. Finally, because of the great response from Malaysians, regardless of race or religion or class or age and gender, who came together. You read in the birthday stories, you read in the eyewitness stories, how Malaysians discovered their common love and identity. But one Malaysia, genuine one Malaysia, birthday one Malaysia was born. And that is not just for a clean electoral system, but for a clean Malaysia. And that's why we are here today, in order to expose the mega corruption involved in mega defense scandals. It is not easy in the Malaysian political system to price open corruption or abuses of power. My first brush with the defense was in 1977-78 with regard to the purchase of Swedish Spiker M passport, for which I was rewarded with a charge under the Official Secrets Act, 5 charges, and if the judiciary system at that time is like now, I would have been deprived as a MP and SA long ago. Fortunately, although I was found guilty of 5 charges, and the total fine exceeded what was allowed under the law to continue as a member of parliament. When I appealed, at least at that time, we have senior judges who, like Sufyan and others, who, although held on to the conviction, ensured that my sentence, my fines were all below 2,000, which saved me to be able to continue in Parliament and the state assemblies. Although at that time, for that venture, I saved the country a modest sum of 7 million ringgit. Only 7 million. That was in the 70s. After that, in the 80s, we began to have the mega scandals and mega corruption. As Sabu has mentioned, the biggest scandal at that time was the Bubutra Malaysia finance scandal. And it involved one life, Jalil Ibrahim. Just as now, on the submarine scandal, a life was involved, At Antonia Charibu.